There is no place in the world where Charles Darwin's legacy is more alive than the Galapagos. The archipelago, about 1,000 kilometers from the continent, was a living laboratory for the British naturalist during his voyage on the Beagle. Its 13 islands, each one with particular natural settings, allow Darwin to see how differences in the environment can benefit changes that end up creating new species looking for the best chance at survival. It's the living proof of natural selection and how species evolve into what they are today. Like the giant tortoises of Galapagos, that adapted according to the island features, like having a longer neck and different types of shell. But today, we are looking at a much smaller, yet also fantastic creature. Today, the evolution story takes us underneath the ground. This is the land of the scavenging beetle.
I'm Duda Menegassi, Darwin Leader from Brazil, and I'm here to follow the scientists from Charles Darwin Research Station while they unfold this potential new chapter of evolutionary history.
In the whole Galapagos, there are about 400 species of beetles. Around 270 of them are endemic species, which means they can only be found in nature here. And they are very important pieces of these ecosystems.
Los escarabajos en general, pues es un grupo invisibilizado muchas veces, pero verdaderamente el rol que cumplen en los ecosistemas es muy importante. Desde el reciclaje de nutrientes, dependiendo del grupo de escarabajos. En este caso vamos a estudiar la familia Scarabaeidae. Esta familia, su ciclo de vida comprende netamente en el suelo. Entonces, uno de los servicios ecosistémicos más importantes es el reciclaje de nutrientes. Es decir, reincorpora los nutrientes o la materia orgánica que se encuentra en superficie al suelo, en donde se puede desarrollar mejores ecosistemas, mejor pasto, mejor bosque. Las semillas pueden tener acondicionamiento en donde pueden germinar mejor.
Today, we are looking for one specific species of scavenging beetle, known by science as Ataenius cavagnaroi.
With less than 5 millimeters, this beetle is smaller than a human nail.
This species, endemic to the Galapagos, can only be found in the Isabela and Fernandina Islands, and the researchers believe that the population here on Isabela might be losing its ability to fly. The reason? They just don't need it anymore.
Natural selection is incredibly simple, and there are really only 4 things you need to remember. Firstly, a population is what natural selection works on. It doesn't work on species and it doesn't work on individuals. And a population is a group of individuals that are from the same species that form a breeding population. The second thing is that all species have variation. And you can see that amongst human populations. Some are tall, some are short, some have brown eyes, some have blonde hair. And that is variation, that's natural variation. We inherit that variation from our biological parents. So if you're incredibly tall, you're more than likely going to have incredibly tall offspring. And then the final thing is that in the wild, there's what we call a struggle for existence. And this means that not all living things survive long enough in order to have healthy offspring. So not all of them will survive. And if those individuals have a characteristic that just gives them a very slight advantage over other individuals, then that characteristic may be what we call selected for within that population, and if it's really successful, that will become quite a dominant characteristic in the population.
Isabela Island has a big variety of landscapes. From the sea level by the beaches, where it's more arid and vegetation is more scarce, to the higher volcanoes that shape the island's mountainous scenery, and all the forests in between. In a place where the beetle finds everything they need within a close range, going far becomes just a waste of energy. And something as wings might become useless.
En la parte baja es donde se encuentran estos que tienen las alas de un tamaño normal, y en la parte alta vamos a encontrar quizás aquellos que tienen la reducción alar, ¿sí? Esta es una hipótesis, porque cuando tú vuelas, digamos que es una inversión de recursos para el insecto. Entonces, si estamos en un ambiente en donde no es beneficioso, digamos, el vuelo, o sea, el costo es muy alto, entonces lo que se cree, o sea, es una hipótesis, es que se van a reducir estas estructuras para ahorrar precisamente este costo energético.
To be able to make this research, though, first, we need to find some new specimens of those beetles that haven't been collected for more than 10 years. Join me in the next chapter of this adventure and follow the scientists as they go through the island in the search of this incredible insect.